Welcome to UVTV, motherfucker. I'm here to kick spiritual ass and do this for my people. On God. Neon nigga fulfilling me in. Today we're going to be talking about African American and black culture is defined by being industrialized by the American dream. Just in general, right? Because I ain't going to try to make it be like, oh yeah, it's because of Europeans and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Even though on a higher percentage scale, it is that. Just in general. But just anybody who believe into that American dream. And it wasn't just European motherfuckers who was doing that and stuff like that, just based upon the foreigner concept. The foreigner being all y'all really foreigners, unless y'all part of this land, aka being part of Native American. So it's either you with the atmosphere of this land, or you're gonna go based upon your motherland of what was going on in Europe or Asia or Africa and things of that nature. That's really like a whole different video and stuff like that. But just in general, right, when it comes to African Americans and stuff like that, right now, from y'all calling yourselves African or y'all calling yourselves black. And then look, I'm saying these things as like disclaimers because I'm black myself. So it's not no thing where I'm trying to be some type of spiritual hater and I can't take pride in my own people. I can't take pride in, you know what I'm saying, the race and my ethnicity and my background and stuff like that. But they be trying to run a play on y'all from y'all not even looking at it from this broader perspective and stuff like that. And then y'all willing to take any type of low hanging fruit they end up throwing at y'all all the way down to black representation, Black History Month, or Black excellency and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Or Black Panther or anything pro-black and all that type stuff. When really they be running a play on y'all by even twisting their words up based upon their intentions to why they even calling you that, when they the ones who gave y'all this intellectual property. They the ones who gave you this name in the first place. And it's not me trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho when it comes to the white savior and all that type shit too. And all that type shit too. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna give a fuck about them either. But I'm just trying to make y'all understand the starting point of how this even started in the first place, to why we basically as a people in this spot when it comes to us being African Americans and stuff like that, in America being a big ass mental pot based upon colonization and capitalism and all that type of stuff. Now, just in general, I have old videos talking about this. So when it comes to African Americans, if you're calling your name African and stuff like that, that's just based upon some type of European England man language, because English is like England-like, and it's a Pigden language. It was just a universal language they utilized based upon them combining a combination of a whole bunch of different languages. So Native American tongue and Spanish tongue, Spaniard tongue, Portuguese, German tongue, and all that type stuff. They were just combining different languages together to make it a universal language that we can all understand. And it's just England man English type of talk. You know what I'm saying? So like British man type of talk, just in general. So from it being a Pigden language, it's just an interpretive language. It's not like a thing to where our own people, like, you know what I'm saying, like a group of people made up their own language and stuff like that. It's a Pigden language. It's an interpretive language. It's just a language that we utilize so we can understand each other and we can interpret what the fuck we saying in the most easiest program. That's why it'd be like English is like the universal language if you go to Asia and things of that nature. Now, based upon you calling yourself African and stuff like that, or Africa being the motherland and stuff like that, right? From y'all utilizing English terminology, they gave y'all that name. So back during those times, based upon colonization and them taking over the land and all that type stuff, it was never no thing where it was on some, oh yeah, a whole bunch of black men was kings and queens, all that type stuff, and pharaohs. And then even if y'all was that, okay, they took that over too, just in general. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, we want to be in the conditions of where we at now, where shit got crippled. So even if y'all was that, okay, they took y'all over of what that was because y'all didn't know how to utilize the land properly based upon the holy kingdom of black excellency and all that type shit y'all be saying and things of that nature. And they just utilized that and just made some England man European concept and just took over a whole bunch of different Berbers and Arabs and stuff like that. Because our Arabs and Berbers and Moroccans and anybody part of North Africa and things of that nature, right? They be bringing up a lot of this shit in the Bible for the most part. They let you know based upon them putting that into that holy book, sacred book, based upon them trying to justify colonization, but making a spirituality, religious institution, indoctrination program out of it, just in general overall, right? That's them trying to show y'all, oh yeah, we did this to y'all too. That's why we bring up slavery in the Bible and stuff like that. It's not no thing where it be like, oh, the Israelites this and the Jews that, and oh God trying to give these people this land because they the holy people because this and a third. No, they look at God like a deity, and then the way they look at God, they want God to support their undertakings. That's why they be having that shit on the dollar bill and the eye of providence and all that type stuff. So the in God we trust. their God is just that. Their God is like colonization. Like their God is capitalism and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Their God is how can we turn something into the flesh, into the external world and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? How can we make this a part of some business, enterprise, materialistic mind state and all that type of stuff? Like that's their God. So when they're talking about God, they're not talking about it from a spiritual point of view. And even if they is talking about it from a spiritual point of view, the only spirit they got is something of the rock, something of the earth, something that's territorial, something of the flesh. They ain't believing in something beyond themselves. And if they is, they're just believing in that ability of I'm gonna be able to come back as a human in the flesh and take over again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the only mind frame they really in, based upon the starting point of why they even do what they do in the first place. So based upon them giving y'all that name, Africa and stuff like that, and now a lot of that is based upon what Dutch in things of that nation, when it was interacting with a lot of people of their darker skin tone and stuff like that. That's just the name they started to call y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like I got an old video talking about this. Like they was calling y'all shit like Africans. They was calling y'all the black race and things of that nature. And then black and Negro, right? Just comes from like Spanish and Portuguese, and then they got interpreted into English and stuff like that, like a black Crayola box, and then they start naming the different names when it comes to how to say black other than black, and it'll bring up like Negro and stuff like that. It's the same thing. So from them calling y'all Negroes, it's just some European concept. You know what I'm saying? Like it's based upon what they was calling us. Not no thing where we made up a name for ourselves. You get it? That's why I got an old video talking about why don't y'all have a name where y'all calling yourselves something, not something that they're calling you. And they say African and you from the continent Africa is based upon, especially because they got that R word in there and stuff like that, Africa and all that type of stuff. Yeah, like that's them making up that language. You know what I'm saying? Based upon English terminology and what a whole bunch of different Europeans did, because they was working as a team, working as a unit when it comes to colonizing and capitalization and crippling other people, nations and races and stuff, because they feel like they could do something better. And they always going to need help when it comes to that. That's why Asians end up making guns, and then they end up utilizing their guns so they could make the new world, and the new world is just America. You know what I'm saying? Anything dealing with America, they're just talking about the new world. If they're talking about the new world, they're just talking about the Western Hemisphere, the land of opportunity, aka what the Native Americans was doing, and how can we capitalize on that, because they got a whole bunch of shit going on over here, and they got a whole bunch of different spiritual practices and societies and civilizations and stuff like that, and we want a piece of that. So how can we make the European Americanized industrialized concept, because we don't even like the ruling of Catholicism and how it is over here, which is why they have religion shit when it comes to the Christian denominations like Protestantism. They was protesting against Catholicism. Catholicism is just the starting point of the type of belief spiritual systems that they was doing in Europe, and they didn't like it, so they went against it, and that's when it started to become Protestantism. So anybody who's acting out a whole bunch of different protest type of energies and stuff like that, all you doing is trying to be a new age Protestant and stuff like that, because that's what they did, and they just made a religious Abrahamic God out of it and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, see, like it go deep, and I know y'all don't even look at it like this, and I know Christians don't even look at it like that, but that is what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? That's why you're a denomination. You're the tree extension of the starting point of what they was doing when it came to Catholicism and stuff like that. That's just the spiritual belief system they was in and mind state they was in when they was taking over shit in the government in Europe. That's why they kept on going to war, go to war with each other in medieval times and all that type of stuff, if you want to bring up history. So, like I was saying before, if you identify as African American, if you identify as black, that's something they're calling y'all. It's not no thing where y'all call yourselves that. And you can't say I'm saying nothing pseudo whatsoever, because you can literally look that shit up. What's something that we call ourselves without using English terminology? What's something we call ourselves without bringing up some European bucket hat man? What's something that we call ourselves when it comes to our tribes and all that type stuff without using some type of European allegory or you know what I'm saying? Like language and terminology and culture and all that type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like what's something of that basically don't include them, including us in it. And I know y'all gonna bring up a whole bunch of different hoodoo voodoo type of stuff for the most part, and a whole bunch of different Egyptian hieroglyphics and all that type stuff, when they would just learn from Native Americans and stuff like that. They was learning from different civilizations, and they was testing that shit out on Africans and things of that nature. So it's still like some transactional middleman thing where, oh, we're getting things from other continents, and we just trying to test certain shit out, and then we just made the African version or whatever the black people during that time was doing and stuff like that. We made our version of what that is, but we had to use other cultures too. Because if that's the case, there wouldn't be no thing like that where, oh, they're trying to cover up our history and stuff like that. Okay, if they're covering up some type of history and stuff like that, that means they took over whatever history, whatever thing y'all was doing and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was always some mind state of, oh, we're gonna mix and mingle and make them impure and raping and pillaging and all that type stuff. Like, we're gonna mix them up, we're gonna go to war, we're gonna confuse them, we're gonna make them fight our wars, aka Buffalo Soldiers in the New World concept and stuff like that. We're gonna make them slaves because they don't know what to do with themselves when it comes to y'all, when it comes to their culture, and then we end up listening, and that's when it started to turn into the civil rights movements and Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, even though that was a side too, but that's really a different video. But like, in general, right, like, that's something they're calling y'all. If you say anything about African and stuff like that, you're just basically subduing to the English terminology or the European terminology of what they was calling y'all based upon the continent of what they're naming it. And then on top of that, if you call yourself black or a Negro or a nigger or a nigga or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever the fuck y'all want to call it. Even if y'all want to turn it into, oh, we turned that into a term of endearment and stuff like that. The starting point, the source starts with, that's what they was calling yo ass. You know what I'm saying? That's what they was calling your chimpanzee, baboon, monkey ass and stuff like that. They was calling y'all Negroes and stuff. They was calling y'all niggers. They was calling y'all black, the black race and stuff like that, the dark skin race and all that type stuff. And we gonna mix up these niggas together. We gonna mix them up with Arabs. We gonna mix them up with Europeans and stuff like that. We gonna mix them up with Asians and see what that make. A whole bunch of different eugenics and shit. Man, this shit go deep. Like, bruh, like, all you gotta do is look up anything dealing with eugenics. Yeah, there was, or like anything going on with slavery and the extremity of what they was doing by making them slaves and trying to take over other people's families and all that type stuff. Like, bro, like, we see it in reality though. We see it in Quentin Tarantino movies like the Django and shit like that. But like, we see it. Like, they telling us in these fucking institutions. They be telling us in these books and stuff like that. That's why they always want to be a part of history. They always got to have some age of enlightenment. Oh, we the ones who define history. Oh, we the ones who took over. Oh, we the fathers of a nation. Oh, we got 47 different predecessors. We have 47 different presidents and stuff like that. We got a whole bunch of different capital and stuff like that. We got 13 colonies and shit like that. We made the New World. We made the American concept. So you better believe in Jesus, Jesuit, Christ, because we found a way and all that type of stuff. Like, that's them too. You know what I'm saying? That's a different video, but like, yeah. So you identify as African American, that's a play on itself. If you calling yourself an American, all you just saying is, oh yeah, I'm with the wave of what they did when it comes to colonization. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all you really saying. Oh, I'm going to just go with the feds. I'm going to just go with the government. The same way how y'all be like, what street niggas be saying and stuff like that. Oh, how come these thugs and these hoodlums and stuff like that, they just can't get along and all that type of shit because of this, that, and the third. Right? All you doing is just being a snitch. All you doing is just showing your hand. All you just showing is, oh yeah, you was probably raised as a suburban and stuff like that. You was probably raised in a certain way, and then you had to go with the law and all that type stuff. But all the laws they done made, they done did to take over, and then they made a system to where now you can't do it. And then that's it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing y'all salty about. They done made a system to where they got away with doing that because they done took all y'all over and made y'all slaves, and then they started to chill out with all that when it come to whatever the shadow government and all that type stuff was doing, and then they just made a method to make it so you can't do it. And you got to be under American laws, and you need to have a fucking visa, and you need to be an Americanized citizen because this is the new world, and we had to kill a whole bunch of Native Americans to do it, and make a whole bunch of motherfucking slaves until we done got to the point to where we crippled them so much we not even worried about them no more. And then we can make a whole bunch of different holidays and holy days because they start acting out in the right template because they're acting out in certain ways that we want them to act out in based upon our programs and our sides and our institutions, because they already indoctrinated and institutionalized in our education system. Business, religion, entertainment, politics, religion, culture. You know what I'm saying? They all stuck in all six. You know what I'm saying? They all stuck in the language too. They all even got their own language. They all talking in English and stuff like that. Even though it's the positive end is, yeah, we can talk in a universal language. The negative end is, oh, it's a pagan language and it's just European England man talk, but it's not no language we made up and stuff like that. And in the minute you start making a community with your own people, they're gonna start to demonize it, and then they're gonna start calling y'all a cult or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying, it's always gonna be like some demonic occultism thing behind it where they're gonna demonize it, and you just trying to be with you and your people. You got your own community, and you ain't trying to get capitalized on. You ain't trying to get gentrified the way they gentrifying Atlanta right now and all that type stuff. And you just trying to make your own culture with your own people. And then if they don't understand what y'all trying to make, and they feel like if the minute they start feeling like you want to get like, you know what I'm saying, get like them, like an American or whatever, the Americanized dream, the American concept, but doing it in your own way, just not under their system and their ruling, they just gonna demonize and throw a whole bunch of different sides to make you basically get away from your people, or make y'all all confused, or make y'all get scared and all that type shit, and y'all gonna go to jail for 30 years and make up some loophole laws and stuff like that based upon the jail system, all that type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers don't be understanding this day of being they be in by even sending a motherfucker to jail. Nigga, if you send a motherfucker to jail, that means you in jail mentally, because you feel the need to overindulge and be in that pig mentality, and trying to make a motherfucker feed into whatever system y'all done created and stuff like that. If you feel the need to pay attention to people who you don't know, to cuff them up and put them in jail, that means mentally you in jail, because you feel the need to control someone's free will. You get it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really that simple. I'm not trying to say it should be like some counterculture anarchy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of different degenerate shit, and we can't have order. But I'm saying that's the starting point they was in, and from them being in that state of being, and you feeling like that's justified, no the fuck it ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's my main point. Like, every law they done made, every policy, conduct, whatever thing they done made, that's what they did to take over. And then they made a system to where you can't do it now. And then now this is the new civilization, just in general. But you're never going to match the atmosphere, the culture, the starting point of how this land got created, aka some Native American shit. You know what I'm saying? So from this being the Americas and the North or South Americans and all that type stuff, if you ain't trying to go with the river flow, you ain't trying to go with the land, you ain't trying to go with the, you know what I'm saying, like the atmosphere, and try to take care of the motherland in the right way of the starting point of how it got created and the starting point. Because if you in the Americas and stuff like that, right, that's the starting point in the origin of Native Americans being born, and it's going to be a higher percentage scale of Native Americans. If you go to Europe, you're going to see a higher percentage scales of white motherfuckers. If you go to Africa, it's going to be a high percentage scale of Africans. If you go to Asia, it's going to be a high percentage scale of Asians, because that's the starting point. That's the ecosystem. That's the environment. That's the shit God made, just in general. God is just all possibilities and stuff like that. That's how it got created. And that system and all that type of stuff, that mechanism, that order is something beyond just some humanistic thought thinking and stuff like that. And then from y'all thinking that humanistic mankind thought and all that type stuff, y'all just trying to be God but as man and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna go to fucking hell trying to think like that. Ain't no way you gonna be all possibilities. And God gonna show you. God gonna show you. But like, in general, yeah, you're just getting capitalized on. You're just getting industrialized. And if you're trying to appease to the Americanized dream, you're just trying to go into whatever the government is doing. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to create your own culture or create your own government or create your own ruling, your own constitution, your own way of how to go about stuff. You're just going to go with whatever some 13 colony pilgrim did like 400 years ago and all that type stuff by killing a whole bunch of Native Americans. And it's really that simple. I had to keep it real. I got to keep it blood raw. Like, that's really what that shit is. So if you identify as African American or black, that's them running a play on y'all. But now I'm going to get into the energy signature when y'all be calling yourselves black. Now, based upon the history behind that, right? That is basically just explained. That's the mystery behind the history, right? When y'all be calling yourself black, right, it's lacking hue and brightness. So hue is just a pigment. You know what I'm saying? And then I like to call pigment like a pig mentality. A pig like to indulge and feed. So from it feeding and overindulging, you think like a pig. You know what I'm saying? So that's why y'all be calling cops pigs and things of that nature. Or y'all be saying like some pig greedy Jew or whatever and stuff like that. They overindulging into the flesh too much. They overindulging into worldly things and material possessions and stuff like that. Even though if you die right now, you can't take none of that materialistic worldly things with you and stuff like that. So that lets you know that's not what it's all about. And if you got some spirit behind you, you're going to try to create more and create more experiences for yourself. And you're going to believe in something beyond just yourself, not just something that got created by some other fucking human. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, I don't know why y'all be acting like humans ain't made up value systems and they ain't made up money and they ain't make up what it means to make money grow on trees and all that type stuff, and then put powder wigs on it and make the eye providence and all that type stuff. You know what I'm saying? God we trust. And then before that, we had trading systems based upon what the Native Americans was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, we make the value system. If we sat there and we just like all chose not to, bro, because y'all be thinking based upon like that economic mind state and stuff like that. Oh, we're going through a recession. Oh, what about the economy? Because of this, that, and the third. Bitch, we make the economy. If we just stop giving a fuck about the things that we trying to buy and stuff like that, it's not gonna matter no more. You get it? Like, but in general, black just means lacking hue or brightness, like I've been said, right? So it's lacking color, it's lacking characteristic, it's lacking charisma, it's lacking you know what I'm saying, enlightenment, it's lacking information, it's lacking color. You know what I'm saying? Like someone who has a colorful personality, a lot of different spectrums. They have a lot of different, you know what I'm saying, personalities they can pull from. They have a lot of different characteristics they can pull from, a lot of different charisma they can pull from because they are fucking character, but they know how to be a character in their own way. You know what I'm saying? They know how to shine their light. They able to be the main spotlight when it comes to their creativity and their talent and things of that nature, right? So black is light absorbent. So from it being light absorbent, it's like a mechanism. So look at something like light as in taking something lightly. So light as in weight. So when you start to take something heavy, that's what y'all be calling darkness and black. You know what I'm saying? You're taking something that's white or that's pure and you're making it impure, aka black. You know what I'm saying? Like these are really just different color spectrums that we're just giving names and titles to, you know what I'm saying? Like we're just giving it names and titles and meanings and reasonings when it comes to those different energy signatures so it can represent something. The same way how you go outside and you see a whole bunch of different trees growing and things of that nature and all the leaves be green. Green just means like, oh, you green, you going, you're abundant, you're going through growth and you're fertile. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You like planting a seed and then you was able to let that seed marinate and grow and all that type of stuff. So from us, or like you seeing red, you being really passionate, you being really enthused, you being really you know what I'm saying? Like or like that dark red, bloody, lively, hot temperament, enticing, you know what I'm saying? Fiery, passionate, all that type of stuff. So we're giving a whole bunch of different meanings and reasonings behind the different color spectrums. So when y'all be trying to take intellectual property over black or over that color spectrum, that's what black people be attracting from y'all trying to give a lot of that energy based upon, you know, pro-blackness or the Black Panthers or, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all be attracting these energies based upon the energy signature that y'all be coming behind. Oh, I'm black. Oh, I'm African American. When y'all be, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all ain't calling y'all sales something based upon beyond what some England or European pilgrim colonizer back in the day was calling y'all Negroes and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like I was saying before, it's like a mechanism. Like daytime, you seeing the dawn. Okay, it's going to turn to the twilight zone, the dusk. Nighttime, daytime, nighttime. So it's like a transition. So based upon it being black, it's like it being going through a darkness. But darkness is just an accumulation of light. You know what I'm saying? It's light absorbent. It's just you absorbing a lot of different information. You get it? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like when a motherfucker be like, oh, this motherfucker is really enlightened. So if they're really enlightened, they know how to be light as a spirit or have a light mentality. They know how to not take things as heavenly or having the world on their shoulders. So it's like emotional baggage. And that clouds up your space. You know what I'm saying? You can't see clearly like if someone was trying to be pure, like the color white and stuff like that. That's why when it comes to y'all be seeing the color white, y'all look at it like that. So when y'all be like, oh yeah, we seeing the holy light and then everyone dressing up in white and all in church and stuff like that, that's the energy signature y'all be attracting to yourselves from even wearing those different colors for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So like I was saying before, yeah, it's like a mechanism, like yin and yang. So lightness and darkness and things of that nature. So that's like you taking on the color black. That's like you being enveloped in darkness, or you being in the dark about something, or you being in unseen, hidden type of energy, or you being sworn to secrecy, or impurity, or oppressiveness, or you being clouded, or dirtiness, or being blackballed and stuff like that. So if you being blackballed, you're not being seen. You're getting eclipsed. You're getting overshadowed. You get it? You know what I'm saying? So it's like y'all being like shadow men from even y'all being in that energy signature from taking on that energy of being black. So the same way, like I was saying before, based upon them mixing and mangling a whole bunch of different, you know what I'm saying, races together and stuff like that, right? If you just black and African American, that's them trying to combine a whole bunch of different races into your shit, and then your shit on a higher percentage scale end up taking over when it comes to y'all DNA. Well, when it comes to our DNA just in general and stuff like that, because it's more potent and stronger because we got super mixed in just in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it sounds like mad harsh, like saying it like that in reality, but like that's the shit they was doing and stuff. Like, that's why when it comes to us being so resilient as black people or whatever, or like hold on, like I'm basically trying to say, like, the more positive end of how you can look at it, we're like a walking wintertime, right? So what happened during wintertime and stuff like that? It's inactive, it's cold, it's dead, it's distant, it's frozen. You know what I'm saying? It's like freezing something into a pocket of time and stuff like that. It's stuck. It's up and it's stuck. It can't move. It's cold, dead, distant. It's not as hot. It's not as enticing and stuff like that. It's more, you know what I'm saying? Like on some I don't give a fuck type of energy. So like when a motherfucker act cold blooded or act cold towards you, it feels like, oh, this motherfucker is opposing me. This motherfucker don't give a fuck about me. They ain't trying to even the odds and all that type stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to go against whatever the fuck they was going against, and it go against whatever I'm doing just in general. So it's like we enemies, we ops, and all that type stuff. So we're gonna go into it until it's gonna create that friction. It's gonna create that you know what I'm saying? So in general, right, it's gonna be more on some uncertainty, negative type of end. Like I was saying before about blackness and darkness, you know what I'm saying, hidden, unseen, and things of that nature. So from us taking on that energy signature, the positive end is when y'all be like, oh, we got crippled, we went through so much shit, but we got that black magic or whatever, right? Or we was able to take something that was unseen and unfamiliar and make it be seen. Oh, black people are so talented. Oh, a lot of people be cosplaying what the fuck what we be doing and stuff like that. Because despite going through that, we was able to go through that transition, right? And we was able to endure all that and still be talented and still was able to create a situation to where our light can still be shining and we can show our talent and gifts. And we need more black representation, and we was able to spread our black voices, and y'all be cosplaying us. We be making rock and roll and stuff like that. Nigga, we made all these different music genres and stuff like that. Nigga, we be doing this, we be doing that. Like, that's why y'all be in that mentality just in general, right? Based upon the DNA and the skin that you chose this lifetime and all that type stuff, because, you know, it's still in some spiritual shit. But like, that's the energy signature or the state of being in the awareness, the spirit that you in from you even coming in that state of being in general. So you got mixed in with a whole bunch of different shit in general. That's why it's like the accumulation of black. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to your skin pigment and things of that nature, you being black, you being dark skin, all that type stuff. So that means on a higher percentage scale, oh, you got mixed in a lot, all the way down to black people hair and stuff like that, like 4C and stuff like that, it being so curly and, you know what I'm saying, going in a spiral and all that type of stuff. Like, we got mixed in with a lot of different cultures and races to where we was able to make our own shit, and we adored a lot. But at the same time, that's when it lead to stuff like us being against our own people, or crabs in a barrel type of mentality and stuff like that, or niggas doing coon nigger shit, all that type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like we want to stay in that darkness. We never want to come to the light. We never want to understand the other mechanism. You know what I'm saying? That's why it always come off on some, oh, we trying to progress, but we always do something that hold ourselves back and all that type stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's based upon the energy signature in the state of being, in the state of awareness y'all be in, based upon which y'all be paying attention to, and that's what y'all attract. Y'all calling yourselves African Americans, and y'all calling yourselves black, and y'all taking on those different energy signatures, and it put y'all in that space, in that state of being, in that spirit, and you ain't gonna see it no other way. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all want to be walking black balls and stuff like that. You ain't never gonna be able to create a circumstance to where y'all just got y'all own shit outside of whatever industrialized complex they done made up and stuff like that. Y'all feel like, oh, we need that representation. Oh, we need to be seen in the right light because of this, then, and the third. But all y'all doing is like cooning in a way. You know what I'm saying? It sounds mad harsh me saying it like that, but it's kind of like y'all want them to give y'all grace based upon y'all dealing with their bullshit for so long, but y'all don't know how to come together as a people to make y'all own thing outside of what they got going on. Like shit like Dr. Umar be talking about. I just mean the starting point of what he's talking about. The way he gonna go about it. The way he been used as a side anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not me being pro, oh yeah, go back to the motherland because of this, that, and the third, and stuff like that. Because nigga, you not from your motherland. Nigga, you was born in America. So if you was born in America, that means your state of being got some Americanized concept or Native American type of concept. It's one of the two. Is either you think in an Americanized concept or you think in an Americanized concept. Either or. You know what I'm saying? You either in a Native American spirit state of being that took you over and you got possessed, or you in an Americanized, white colonizer, European state of being, you got took over, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. It's nothing else. Because overall, all y'all motherfuckers foreigners for real. You know what I'm saying? Like from the starting point though. You know what I'm saying? So like it's not no thing where it's like, oh, we need to go back to the motherland and stuff like that. And we gotta leave the Americas because this, that, and the third. No, you was born into this environment and familiarity and circumstance. You was born in the new world. You was born here though. So it's like, okay, yeah, you can go back if you feel called to go back there, or you can move to Asia if you want to, you know what I'm saying? But like the whole thing in general is just some foreigner concept and stuff like that, all the way down to vacations. Like, why can't you just make something, some recreational type of thing? Like how y'all make recreational centers so y'all can recreate some spring, summertime type of energy, even if we going through the fall and winter. Why can't y'all recreate that energy, that vibe, that culture from where you at right in your own backyard, so you don't have to do that, so you don't have a reason to leave? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not to say there's something wrong with traveling and stuff like that, but y'all have to look at it more like that. That's like a foreigner concept. That's what some Americanized motherfucker done did and stuff like that. It's like what I was saying earlier, like some 21st century Protestant. That's what they did. Because they foreigners, and they even like where the fuck they was at. That's why they left. So they could take over someone else's spot, but they already had that territory. So what the fuck you doing? You know what I'm saying? It's like that. It's like y'all know how to have your own shit or mind your own business. You're gonna be so productive doing your own shit, having your own culture, got your own business, got your own education system, got your own entertainment, got your own, you know what I'm saying, all that, got your own religion. You know what I'm saying? Even though that religion shit started to wane and all that type stuff. Man, religion is a real legion. It's just a real legion of people of who they capitalized on, who had a spiritual system. And then they capitalizing off that spiritual system and calling it religion. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, that's really it for real. But like, it's like, yeah, bro, like, y'all ain't thinking in that type of mind state. And then the more y'all think in that type of mind state, y'all can really come together as one type shit. You know what I'm saying? And then just make your own thing. Not no anti-government. We got to tear down that establishment like this is Fight Club and all that type stuff. No. Just try to create your own thing outside of what they got going on. And then eventually they're going to have to try to find interest. They're going to end up side-upping. They're going to end up spying. They're going to try to be a part of it. All you got to do is just stop giving a fuck about it. It's like what I was saying before. Nigga, we make the economy. If we all sat there and we were just all like, yo, let's just all steal something from Walmart right now. The fuck they gonna do? Do some martial law shit and all that type stuff and stuff like that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't contain or control everybody and stuff like that. I don't care how many data centers and AI shit and how many times y'all trying to do some eyeball providence, watching everybody and listening to everybody on their phones, all that type stuff. You can't control everybody. Niggas die, niggas get born every day, B. You know what I'm saying? Some Cameron paid in full shit, like, on God. So yeah, you gotta do it for you and your people. That's what they did. That's what got them inspired and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Well, at least their ancestors. That's the thing that got them inspired. They was one to die about that shit. You know what I'm saying? They was one to die about that shit when it come to their Americanized concept and stuff like that, and colonization and capitalism. They was one to die about that shit. Y'all gotta be one to die about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers gonna spiritually respect you because you want to die about that shit. You know what I'm saying? You willing to make your own culture. You willing to make your own civilization and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean you gotta not mind your business and like try to do some revenge plot and like trying to tear down the government because of this, down, and the third, some tyranny and stuff like that. No, it's something that can naturally happen, that can get built over time, and y'all just make some type of system out of that. And then that's gonna be done in a more one-of-a-kind type of way, and other people can be included. That's why I be saying in the beginning of my videos, I be doing this for me and my people. Anything else is you're just trying to side me and my people who are in the same state of being that I'm in. Type shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, that's the only civilian concept, civilian political concept y'all gonna end up making up and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can make things be on a even playing field and stuff like that. Stop trying to make it some high class shit. Stop trying to make it some, oh, you low class because you don't got this amount of money based upon the Americanized concept and us having powder wigs on it and all that type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Do some shit to where your people can be on the money and all that type stuff based upon the value that you bring and all that type shit. From you trying to create your own little thing outside of that. and then it's gonna bring some real creativity back. You know what I'm saying? Some real culture. The shit y'all be starving for because we in a big ass drought, right? Bro, we in a big ass drought right now when it comes to all that type of shit, just in general. But like, yeah, anybody who in that concept of calling themselves African American or calling themselves black, that's just the energy signature you putting yourself in, and we need to make up something to where we call ourselves that. Otherwise, you're just basically giving credence to what they did to y'all and how much they crippled y'all, and y'all always gonna be in their begging hand type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I am not even against motherfuckers making their money and stuff like that, or people getting into positions, but you gotta understand that is what you're doing though. So try to utilize it in the right areas. Stop utilizing it for the low hanging fruit they be giving you, based upon them giving you crumbs, and then you end up getting that real liberation, that real uh liberation. You know what I'm saying? That real respiration, that real liberation. That's what that is. Not no y'all take on the respiration based upon what they made some welfare governmental system out of it and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? That's like them giving y'all low hanging fruit. That's like them giving y'all crumbs and stuff like that because y'all fought y'all wars. I mean, you fought they wars and all that type stuff, and you was getting a little after effects because hey, you still in the Americanized concept and stuff like that. And if you want to make it in the world, this is what you got to do to get this money and this and a third, and pay attention to this flesh in the external world when the whole thing is just a spirit, mind, body external world concept. It's a mechanism in a transition. And then if you get stuck into one pocket and you can't let one go, man, you're going to be coming back as a human forever, a flunked out human and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You're going to keep on being in hell forever. And I'm saying that to say, because motherfuckers get lost when I start talking about, motherfuckers going to hell and being demonic and stuff like that. All that just means is you always going to be a fallen angel, a fallen angle. You're always going to be descending. You're never going to actually appease your ancestors. You're never gonna feel found into something because that's all an ancestor is. You feeling you know what I'm saying? You being the starting point, you being the forebearer, you feeling found in something based upon what your purpose is, and you creating that on a broader scale. You trying to broaden up your state of being. You're trying to broaden up your spirit, and it basically ends up broadening up your mind, and end up giving you more of that inspiration into the flesh and helping out your organs and stuff like that because you made an organization, you made a system, and you made that part of the external world, and you was able to make that part of your legacy, aka your legs to stand on, even after death. So you learn how to work it out based upon the transitions, aka some spring, summer, fall, and winter, and even if you end up dying and stuff like that, you learn how to let that thing go. You able to let go of that container. You was able to let go of the external world. You was able to let go of things of the flesh. You was able to let go of things on your mind. And the only thing that's going to be everlasting is your spirit. You believing in something beyond just yourself. And that's the thing that's going to help you come back again, even better, aka reincarnation or like rebirth and stuff like that. All the way down to when motherfuckers be like, yeah, I got reborn, or I'm coming back, or we're going through a new transition, a new era and stuff like that. You're always in that springtime type of energy. You know what I'm saying? You always believe in, oh, I'm able to create myself again. I'm able to create another angle. I'm able to make it more broad. You broaden up your spirit, your soul, your individual space. You're able to create a different circumstance and a bigger vessel and gain more awareness or gain more information so you can think beyond just the humanistic mind state or the lower animalistic natures and stuff like that. And then you able to, oh, man, it don't matter what a motherfucker try to do. You always gonna be utilizing your free will, and that's the real freedom for real. From basically being self-reliant, from you being independent and stuff like that. Not no Americanized independence and stuff like that based upon some system they created, based upon the Americanized concept, just in general. And that's really it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you trying to not get capitalized on. You trying to not be colonized. You trying to have your own colony and community to where you don't feel the need to where you have to worry about the pressures of the world of the government trying to do that. You got your own government. And the more you understand yourself, your own body, your own organization, your own organs, your own government and stuff like that, and your own purpose of what the fuck you trying to do, people start to see you trying to be a walking celestial body, a walking sun and moon transition and stuff like that. And then we are the world. Based upon our own individual subjective point of view, we're going to make the objective world point of view of how it is. And then it's just going to create more productivity. And then America be the land of opportunity again in a real actual aspect, not the Americanized, industrialized, let's capitalize and take everything. You know what I'm saying? Like crabs in a barrel type mentality all the time and shit like that.